morning to all. Welcome back to 7th Standard Social Online class. Students, we are learning History Unit number 2, Art and Architecture of Tamil Nadu. In our last class, we have studied about the architecture style of Pallava period, early Pandya period, and early Chola period, and later Chola period, and paintings, etc. we have learned. Who built the famous Pragadisha temple in Tanjore? Yes, Rajaraja I. And which are the best example for Chola architectures? Yes, Pragadisha temple in Tanjore, Gangaikonda Cholapuram in Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple in Gangaikonda Cholapuram, and Karasuram Airavadiswara temple. These are the best example for Chola architecture. Today we are going to see Vijayanagar Epoch. During Vijayanagar period epoch, a new form of construction emerged. It is the mandapam, that is pavilion, to where the gods are carried every year. The new construction style was emerged during the period of Vijayanagar. Vijayanagar, have you heard that word Tenali Raman? So that period we call Vijayanagar Epoch. Pillared outdoor mandapams are meant for public rituals, with the ones in the east serving as a waiting room for devotees, female gods, which adorn the large temples. So many small devotees statues, rooms were there that decorated the large temples. These mandapams attract attention for its monolithic pillars. Monolithic means the pillars was made up of a single rock. Mono means single, lith means rock. So that pillars were made up of a single rock. On these pillars are sculptured horses, lions, and the gods. So each and every pillars have so many sculptures like horse, lions, and gods. The Kalyana Mandapam at Kanjipuram, that is in Varadaraja Perumal temple, and at Vellore, Jalakandishwara temple are the best example for this mandapas. You see here, this is the mandapam of Adinatha temple, Alvar Tirunagari. You see that pillars, in this mandapams, many rituals were undertaken here. You see that pillar is made up of a single rock, and it is decorated by, you see that statues, horses, gods, lions, etc. The most celebrated of these mandapams in the temple of Madurai is the Pudu Mandapam. So best example it is in Madurai Pudu Mandapam. You see that pillars. Vellore Jalakandeshwara temple. So many marriages were undertaken in this mandapams, and religious ritual functions also undertaken here. See that pillars, it is made up of so many statues like animals and gods like that. The main features of Vijayanagar and Nayak architectures are decorated mandapas, ornamental pillars. The pillars is fully ornamented by some horses, lions, and goddesses, and life-size images, gopuras, praharas, music pillars, floral work, and stone windows during the period of 15th to 17th centuries. So these are the architectures of Nayaks, a new type of architectures. And tanks are attached to this temple. Each and every temple it has tank. Gateway to temples are constructed from 4 directions with the massive cobras. So these are the structures of Nayak. The practice of fitting the niches with sculptures continued during the period of Nayak also. There was an increased use of major sculptured figures, relief sculptures as found at the Alagia Nambi temple at Tirkurangudi, that is in Tirunelveli district, and the Gopalakrishna temple in the Ramanatha temple complex at Srirangam. The southern festival mandapam of Adinatha temple at Alva Tirunagari and the porch of the Nelliyappa temple at Tirunelveli are the best example for Nayak sculptures and architecture. You see here this mandapam, and there was a statue. See here. So these are the Nayak architecture type. In Tamil Nadu, the images of deities attached to composite column gradually freed themselves from the core column. The thousand pillar mandapam of the Meenakshi Sundeswara temple, Pudu mandapam at Madurai, Radhi mandapam at Tirkurangudi, and Vanamalai temple at Nanguneri are most example for mandapam architectures of this period. So in this mandapam, the main goddesses are placed there. Gods and goddesses are placed here. You see here, this is 1,000 pillar mandapam because this mandapam consists of 1,000 pillars. You see that pillar, how it is decorated. You see here, each and every pillar it has some sculptures. This is 1,000 pillar mandapam that is in Meenakshi temple. The pillars of this period are more decorative than the previous period. Monolithic, gigantic, yawly pillars, horse pillars with a life-size portrait of mythological and royal family members, common folk, animals and floral work were made. Musical pillars were the peculiar features of this time because this, if we touch that pillars, it gives some music. So this is we call musical pillars. A sitting line at the top of the pillar is a common features in this mandapams. So each and every pillars at the top there was a line sitting in a position. We can see that one. The windows are carved out on the walls of the sanctum and mandapams. Next, Jalakanteshwara temple at Vellore. The temple at Tadikumbu near Dindukkal and Krishnapuram near Tirunelveli and Subramaniam shrine in the big temple Tanjore are most remarkable edifices of this time. Vijayanagar and Nayak paintings are seen at Varadaraja Perumal temple at Kanjipuram, Kudalalaga temple at Madurai and the temples of Srivilibuttur, Tiruvellarai, Alagar Koil, Tiruvannamalai and Srirangam. The paintings mostly have the stories from Ramayana, palace scenes and mythological stories also there in the temple. See here the sculptures in Varadaraja Perumal Koil, that is in Kanjipuram. Now we are going to see the modern period architecture. After 1600, the Sedupadis as the feudatory of Madurai Nayak. The Sedupati, they were under the control of Madurai Nayaks. They ruled Ramanathapuram and contributed to the Ramanatha Swami temple architecture. In the temple of Rameshwaram, the predominant corridor, notice one, the Rameshwaran temple is famous for its corridor is striking. It is claimed that this temple has the longest set of corridors in the world. Notice one. The Rameshwaran temple is the longest corridor in the world. The temple has 3 sets of corridors. The outer sets of the temple's corridor has a height of almost 7 meters and stretches for about 120 meters in both eastern and western direction. The corridors to the north and south and to the south and on the other hand are about 195 meters in length. The outer corridor is also remarkable for the numbers of pillars. The corridor consists of many pillars that support it, which nearly 1,200 pillars are there in that corridor. Moreover, many of these pillars are decorated by ornate carving. The innermost set of the corridor is the oldest of the three. So, Rameshwaran Temple, the main work of the Rameshwaran Temple, that is his corridor. It is the world longest corridor. Students, you see this corridor. Nearly 1200 pillars are decorated this corridor, and it consists of beautiful ornated paintings and sculptures, etc. Ramanatha Swami Temple corridor, world longest corridor. Now we will summarize the point. In sum, the Pallava period features sculptured rock. So during the period, we can see the rocket temple and a seashore temple, etc. The early Chola period was marked by grand vimanas. During the Chola period, we can see that grand vimanas. The later Chola period was known for its beautiful Kobram, and Vijayanagar period that is famous for its mandapams, and the modern period was when corridors were given prominence. So this is the art and architectures of Tamil Nadu. So during the Pallava period, we can see the rocket sculptures, rocket architectures, and during the Chola period, we can see the sculptures temple, especially Vimanas, and later Chola period, we can see the beautiful Kobrams were constructed, and during Vijayanagar period, we can see the great mandapams with enormous pillars, and modern periods is witnessed for its corridors. So these are the art and architectural style of Tamil Nadu. So students, today we have studied about which period? Yes, Vijayanagar period. So Vijayanagar period is mainly example for its mandapam with pillared decoration, and during the modern period it is mainly for corridors in the temple. The best example corridor, Rameshwaram, Ramanatha Swami Temple. Students, we have completed the second lesson in history. Today I will give one word and detail. You copy the detail in your classwork note and mark the one word in your book and study well. Thank you.